Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today. Whether you're a seasoned astrology buff or you're just, fascinated by human psychology and how we vibe with our living spaces, you are totally in the right place. Today, we're exploring a profoundly beautiful and honestly sometimes really challenging placement, Venus in the fourth house. This whole topic is all about our deep emotional connection to our homes and how our external environment directly shapes our inner serenity.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this is a question that hits so close to home for almost everyone. Picture this. You've just spent the entire weekend perfectly curating your living room. You've got the lighting just right, you light a candle, you finally sit down to relax with a good book, and instantly, the peace is totally shattered by a blaring car alarm or your neighbors having a screaming match. It's just utterly exhausting, isn't it? Well, for someone with Venus in the fourth house, dealing with loud neighbors or chaotic environments isn't just a minor annoyance. It is a genuine, deep disruption to their core emotional stability. So that brings us to the big question. Can that curated beauty, that carefully crafted peace, actually survive in a world that is constantly disturbing it?
To answer that, we're going on an emotional journey today, moving from fragile ideals to real resilience. We'll be looking at the desire for perfect harmony, what happens when disturbances shatter the peace, how other planets influence peace, the moon's emotional impact, and finally, cultivating true inner peace.
Starting off with Section 1, the desire for perfect harmony and the search for emotional happiness at home.
To really wrap our heads around this, we need to break down the basics. Let's look at the fourth house. In astrology, the fourth house isn't just your physical address or the walls of your house. Sure, it represents your residence, but more importantly, it's your inner peace. It's the family atmosphere, your craving for privacy, and literally the emotional foundation of your life. It is the absolute bedrock of your emotional well-being. It's that sacred place you retreat to when you just need to recharge.
Now, throw Venus into the mix. Venus is the planet of harmony, aesthetics, pleasure, love, luxury, and this incredibly intense drive for balance. So think about it. What happens when you take the planet of luxury and balance and place it directly into the house of home and emotional foundations? Well, the living space essentially becomes a canvas for emotional expression. Your physical environment becomes completely tied to your emotional happiness.
People with this placement, they don't just want a house. They want a beautiful, curated atmosphere where their mind can actually relax and their heart feels cared for. We're talking quiet surroundings, pleasant, friendly neighborhoods. They love beautiful gardens or highly artistic spaces. They crave a refined environment and really value having friendly relations with the folks living nearby. They will pour an immense amount of time, money, and emotion into decorating and perfecting their comfort, simply because they believe, down to their core, that a perfect external environment is what creates inner happiness.
But as we all know, life is messy. We don't live in a vacuum. Section 2. When disturbances shatter the peace, and the reality of the outside world. Because of this powerful Venus influence, when the chaotic outside world inevitably invades this sanctuary, it feels intensely disappointing. Venus demands harmony, which means even the smallest disruptions feel completely emotionally exhausting. If you happen to have this placement, I want to fully validate how you feel right now. Loud neighbors, hallway arguments, or just living in an unpleasant, messy area, these things don't just annoy you, they actually damage your feeling of peace itself. It feels like an aggressive invasion of your emotional harmony. Your beautiful home just instantly loses its charm when it's surrounded by constant noise and conflict.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core internal conflict these individuals face. On one hand, you have the peaceful approach. Venus desperately wants to maintain good relationships, so you opt for polite communication, you actively avoid conflict, and you seek friendly connections. But on the flip side is the reality of suppressing frustration. By avoiding every single disagreement just for the sake of harmony, you often fail to solve the actual underlying issues. You end up swallowing your anger just to keep the peace, which, ironically, completely destroys your own internal peace anyway.
Now let's speed things up, because things get chaotic when other cosmic forces enter the chat. Section 3. How other planets influence peace, specifically Mars, Saturn, Rahu, and Mercury. The universe just loves throwing tests at our sanctuary, doesn't it? Let's run through this rapid fire. When Mars influences this fourth house Venus, that gentle desire for peace violently clashes with sharp irritation. Mars brings noise conflicts, property disputes, and suddenly your challenge is balancing assertiveness with grace so you don't just explode in anger. Then you've got Saturn.
Saturn literally delays perfection. It brings you the older buildings, the endless maintenance issues. Venus wants comfort now, but Saturn demands patience, forcing you to somehow find beauty in imperfect, restrictive conditions. And what about Rahu? Well, Rahu triggers this endless cycle of comparison. It creates this insatiable hunger for luxurious perfection, leading to totally unrealistic expectations that end up magnifying even the tiniest disturbances. Finally, Mercury. Mercury is all about diplomacy and neighborhood chats. And yeah, friendly conversations can solve problems, but too much negotiation, it just leads to intense mental fatigue from constantly having to over-explain your boundaries.
So we have all these external planetary tests happening around us. But how do we actually process them internally? Section 4, the moon's emotional impact.
So, the crucial point is this. The physical disturbance itself isn't the final judge of your happiness. No, it's actually the condition of the moon that dictates how deeply these disruptions affect you. If you have a strong moon, it acts like this amazing emotional buffer. It allows you to still enjoy the beauty of your home despite the noise and the imperfections outside. But if you have a sensitive moon, those surroundings become incredibly overwhelming. The noise isn't just next door anymore, it's living in your head. You might even find that thoughts of these disturbances follow you when you're physically miles away from home, ruining your entire week.
Which brings us to our final and honestly most profound chapter. Section 5, Cultivating True Inner Peace and the Deeper Lesson of Venus.
I want you to let this really sink in. External beauty and inner peace are connected, but not identical. This right here is the ultimate profound lesson of Venus in the 4th house. Yes, absolutely, a beautiful home supports your happiness, but true, lasting harmony, it cannot depend entirely on having a flawless, completely silent environment.
Because let's face reality, every single environment has imperfections. Every neighborhood has different, sometimes loud, sometimes really messy personalities. Having Venus in the 4th house doesn't mean you're just doomed to suffer difficult neighbors forever. In its highest possible expression, Venus is a force that actively transforms spaces through love and care. This placement creates someone who brings beauty out into their neighborhood, improving the atmosphere around them rather than just passively demanding silence from it. As we wrap up everything we've explored today, we realize where true beauty actually lives. It's not found in sterile, perfect silence. True beauty is found in patience when things get delayed. It's found in the radical acceptance of outside imperfections. It's rooted deeply in emotional maturity. Ultimately, the truly peaceful home is not the one without any disturbance at all. It's the one where you are actively creating internal harmony despite the external noise. A beautiful space can comfort your mind, for sure, but a balanced heart, that is the ultimate protector of your peace.
When your inner harmony becomes unbreakable, all those chaotic external disturbances simply lose their power over you. True beauty always survives through emotional grace. So, I want to leave you with this one question to ponder. If true beauty is not destroyed by noise, what kind of harmony is your heart creating today? Take a moment, think about that, and just remember, your heart is your truest home. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.